because they want all the data they can get from their world champion as they look to try and improve a package which hasn't fared particularly well so far around here. No Aprilia's made their way automatically into qualifying. Igor ensured that at least one of them did get that far by topping Q1, but they certainly haven't been a match for the Ducatis, nor the Yamahas or the Hondas so far this weekend, although Johan Zarco's decision to go for the soft rear tyre did at least ensure that Aprilia made their way into the points with two of their bikes last night. But they still have an awful long way to go if they're going to be giving this man a hurry up.
Yeah, Marc Marquez then, pole position in all 4 Grand Prix so far this season. 64 wins, 113 podiums, 70 poles. That is some record, isn't it? For a rider who effectively lost 4 years of his career. What would those stats look like had it not been for Jerez 2020? That's all in the past. It all feels like a distant memory right now, doesn't it? It's clearly it's Marc's best chance of capturing that elusive 9th world title, his 7th in MotoGP, as we get the jaw-dropping helicopter shots of the Losail International Circuit with the Marquez siblings and Quartararo on your front row of the grid.
All 3 going medium front, medium rear. Don't expect anyone else to go for the soft rear tyre. While you look at the grid, let's hear from the pole man. Marc Marquez is with Jack.
Well, Marc, first of all, I hope that the grid this time round is less dramatic than 2 weeks ago. I hope we don't see you sprinting off in a second. You've described it as a weekend of unexpected surprises so far. What do you expect in this?
Yeah, of course. Will be a tough race, very long race, especially for the way to manage the tires. Now that my opponents cannot listen anymore, I'm struggling a bit with the tire life with the front tire, and then I need to be careful with that front tire. Not only the rear. Rear everybody is a bit in the limit, but also I need to have the extra careful with the front. So let's see how we can manage.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks ever so much to Marc Marquez for sparing time to have a little natter with Jack there down on the grid. Yeah, a few lingering concerns potentially about that front tyre life. It's a tough old 22 laps around this 5.38 kilometre Losail International Circuit. Off into the distance is the rapidly expanding capital of Doha, unrecognisable from our first visit here, 21 years ago, back in 2004, lit up by the neon lights. So we get set, we're about 20 minutes away from lights out, under the lights in Losail. Marc Marquez, at least this time he's just walking off the grid and not sprinting off it, just like he was in Austin.
Yeah, our boys back in the production truck will be hovering their finger over the button to cut through the intro later on if we have to get out of that once again, which certainly caught of all of us sleeping before the warm-up back got underway, or failed to get underway as it was in Austin.
You know, if he's standing by his Ducati with a few minutes to go, the rest are in trouble. Let's go down then once again onto the grid. He missed out with that soft tyre choice last night in the sprint. What can Johan Zarco do this evening for LCR Honda? The Frenchman joins Jack.
Yeah, great to be down here with Johan, who's once again put himself in a great position ahead of this Grand Prix. I imagine not the same rear tyre choice as yesterday. How do you see this one unfolding?
I really hope this medium wheel tire will not create all this vibration that we got with the soft one. But when the tire gets used, we still don't know very well how it's gonna be. So if I don't have any vibration, I guess I can have a very good result and fight with the top guys, at least the top 6 or top 5. But if this is difficult, I would love to confirm a good top 10, as the speed is good for the other moment, and we still need to improve few things with the team to make it better for the next ones.
Have a great race.
Yes.
Yeah, thanks ever so much, Jack. Thanks to Johan Zarco. Sadly, that DNF last time out in Austin was his first time he's missed the points in the Grand Prix in 12 since Red Bull, when he really was stringing together a series of consistent results, wasn't he? 34-year-old Frenchman Zarco then, he launches away from 7th place.
There's also sporting stars with us here this weekend. You just saw a glimpse there of Fernando Verdasco, former Grand Slam tennis semi-finalist, who's also sampling some of the atmosphere on the MotoGP grid. Of course, give my right arm to be on any MotoGP grid, but this one is one of the more spectacular, under the floodlights with the Doha skyline in the background. It is a unique Grand Prix on our 22-round stop of the calendar. The night race, the Qatar Grand Prix. Who will shine brightest under the Lusail sky? Let's head down to a rider who certainly shone bright yesterday in qualifying. Third on the grid for Fabio Quartararo, who joins Jack.
Fabio, what a brilliant weekend you've been having so far. Described it yesterday, the most fun you've had since 2023. What's possible today?
Yeah, let's see. We had a lot of fun yesterday. We know that longer race will be more difficult, especially for the tires. But let's say no expectation for today. Just trying to enjoy like yesterday, give our best, and try to see where we can arrive.
Have a good one. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Jack. Thanks to Fabio Quartararo, as he mentioned. Starting on the front row in a Grand Prix for the first time since Assen 53 races ago at the Dutch GP. Yes, last night only a 6 sprint, top 6 in 43. Big leap forward in terms of his sprint time last night. Quattro is 12 seconds faster on the factory Yamaha than he was in the sprint last year, which equates really to him being a second a lap quicker. 6th place on the grid, Maverick Vinales. Well, he knows what it's like to win here in Qatar. He has done it 3 times, twice in MotoGP, that memorable Yamaha debut in 2017. What a start 2017 it was for Vinales when he won 3 of those first 5 Grand Prix. I think we all felt that Yamaha had unearthed another superstar to follow the likes of Valentino Rossi and Jorge Lorenzo. But Maverick Vinales, first top 10 last night on board a KTM. Of course, not good enough for a point scoring place in the sprint. But what can Maverick Vinales do? Of course, he'll have that medium rear tyre fitted tonight, which will certainly be less of a handicap than what came his way over the 11 laps in the sprint.
There was one manufacturer on this grid who certainly wouldn't have been entertaining that soft rear tyre tonight. It was KTM, who provided some useful information for the rest of us that tyre wasn't going to go the distance, because it only made it around 4 laps or so into the sprint last night before they began to fall off a cliff of performance. And in the end, none of them scored a point. But signs of progress, though, for Maverick Vinales. He is your top KTM on the grid, starting 6th.
A good luck kiss from Pecco Bagnaya's wife, Domitia. That crash in Q2 last night, though, as he already kissed goodbye to his hopes of back-to-back wins in the Qatar Grand Prix. 11th place at the Italian starts. 21 points he slipped behind Marc Marquez in the championship here last night, as Marc comes to the grid, looking for his first Doha Grand Prix victory in 11 years. That is his sole victory here. Never really been a happy hunting ground, has it? The track sort of features a lot of fast and flowing right-handers, which really have been kryptonite down the years. Marc Marquez, he has, though, changed his riding style. He's really now fully in tune with what he needs to get out of himself to extract the best of that factory Ducati. First Grand Prix in history to feature 5 MotoGP World Champions. What a story that is, of course. Now we finally have Jorge Martin back on the grid. Jorge Martin, Fabio Quartararo, Joan Mir, of course, Pecco Bagnaia and Marc Marquez, our 5 MotoGP World Champions. It's fair to say, under the stars of Doha, we have a star-studded grid for round 4 in 2025.
2 of those world champions start on the front row of the grid. Marc Marquez from pole position, Fabio Quartararo, who completes that front row in 3rd, either side of the pre-weekend championship leader. Of course, not any longer Alex Marquez. There's Jack Miller just behind him, his temporary Pramac teammate, Augusto Fernandez. Of course, we hope to have Miguel Oliveira back with us in Jerez in a couple of weeks' time when we return to Europe. Jack Miller, though, from the Pramac squad, has had his own problems to deal with this week. Never mind this weekend. He's been suffering with a bit of illness from the beginning of the week, really, which he's only really just about starting to get over at this stage. Jack Miller, 19th in the sprint last night. He also rolled the dice on the soft rear tyre. But as you can see from Piero Taramasso, nobody's going that route tonight.
Yeah, Jack Mirror at least a little bit lighter on top of that comeback Yamaha tonight. Jack said he lost 3 kilos with this nasty stomach bug, which has come his way. So medium is the preferred pick for all the riders. No great surprise there. Last night we saw VR46 racing on the podium with Frankie Morbidelli. Coming on strong late on as well was Fabio Di Gianantonio. Let's get the thoughts of their boss, Pablo Nieto, who's with Jack.
Pablo, a brilliant race for both guys yesterday. Frankie on the podium. Digit's late race pace was exceptional as well. What's the target today?
It's going to be a very hard, like always, no? It's true that Dija make a fantastic race yesterday, but we make the analysis of the race, and it's very important to track a very good start on the first lap. Dija in the first lap was 10th position, I think. So if you want to do something in MotoGP, you have to try to make something better. And Frankie, a little bit the opposite, no? He make a fantastic start, fantastic first 2 laps, and then it was a little bit more harder to him to finish the race. So it's going to be hard for both riders. I think we can make a very good race. It's important to try to save the tires, because we saw that the tires is going to be very, very important. And then let's see what happens in the end. Good luck. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks very much, Jack. Thanks as always to Pablo Nieto. Hopes and expectations will be sky high for VR46 racing. As we mentioned, Morbidelli clinging on to that 3rd place. A bronze medal for him last night in the sprint. Fabio Di Gianantonio was just over a second back of the top 3 in 6th place. He had really strong late race pace, didn't he? The Italian, of course, who here 2 years ago took his one and only MotoGP success. A ride that effectively